2024 will be the coup de grace. And speaking of that, you know, the Orange Vomit keeps talking about his comeback bid in 2024. Well, the little Nazis that cluster around him like flies around a shit pile are flocking to election jobs all the way down to the local level in so-called key battleground states. And this is raising new concerns that the election officials who blocked Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election won't be there in 2024. Instead, what will be there will be these scummy little bastard white people, and I'm sorry to say a couple of black people who will be there because of the stench of power and the closeness to their Messiah, Donald Jesus Trump, and they will be there to destroy America. The Orange Vomit has endorsed candidates for Secretary of State and Attorney General. These are statewide races. They have nothing to do directly, although certainly indirectly, with national politics. But these statewide races that play a crucial role in administering elections, Secretaries of State, Attorneys General. But he's endorsed candidates for those offices who have been willing to spread the lies and the bullshit that comes out of his filthy mouth about 2020. But as CNN reports, in addition to statewide roles, Trump's scum are pursuing local election posts, even trickling down to the precinct level. And they're trying to gain more prominent roles in state GOP parties and state legislatures ahead of the 2024 presidential campaign. We are in for a shitstorm, truth seekers, I'm telling you, because when the Democratic Party finally comes out of the fucking ether about what's going on, when media in this country finally find their dedication to the principles of justice and under law, and realize how they are being worked 24/7 by these Christian fascist fuckers, it'll be too late for media or the Democratic Party to do anything. And that's when the people of the United States will say, fuck this, and the shooting begins. You know this. I know this. You know this. I know this. Michigan, for instance. According to CNN, several new Republican appointees to county canvassing boards who have said they would not have certified the 2020 election are replacing Republican members who did certify the election result. One appointee in a Michigan county, Macomb County, urged Trump after the election to invoke the Insurrection Act and declare a state of martial law and suspend the Electoral College meeting in order to set up military tribunals to investigate claims of election fraud. And this fucking scum bastard is now on the board in Macomb County of one of the canvassing boards, which will determine which ballots that come in are legitimate and which should be thrown in the shitter. Now, what do you think this scum bastard is going to say about votes for whomever is not a Christian fascist? Huh? And Michigan is, in fact, a microcosm of this strategy being carried out by Trump's scum, like this filthy dumpster-dwelling Steve Bannon. It's Bannon, among the loudest voices, who have been advocating Trump's Nazis to infiltrate local Republican Party positions and take over the election posts. This is what I'm telling you. The Republican Party is dead. These are invaders. These are like viruses. These are zombies. These are horrible fucking Christians. And they are. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck if that offends you or not. They're not Jews. They're not Muslims. They're not Buddhists. They're Christians by their own definition. May not be by yours or mine, but by theirs. In one of his filthy podcasts last month, according to CNN, this dumpster-dwelling Bannon said, quote, "We're taking over the Republican Party through the precinct committee strategy. We're taking over all the elections. We're going to get to the bottom of 3 November, and we're going to decertify the electors. And you're going to have a constitutional crisis, but you know what? We're a big and tough country, and we can handle that. We'll be able to handle that. We'll get through that." And Bannon, this filthy subhuman, told CNN that he considers his podcast to be an instrument of self-organization for the Trump faithful. And on his filthy podcast, I would listen to it if somebody held a gun to my head. But according to CNN, he often features guests who are leading local efforts, encouraging Trump supporters to get involved in election-related positions, to run for roles of influence within their local parties, or to run for higher office. And meanwhile, the Democrats are asleep at the fucking wheel. Where are the Democrats? Yo, Democrats, Democratic Party of Georgia, Michigan, Iowa, California, Texas, wherever. Where are you? Why are you not recruiting people? Do you not realize what is going on? Bannon also said, quote, "It's about winning elections with the right people, MAGA people. We will have our people in at every level," end quote. And if you remember, it was this dumpster-dwelling bastard who played a key role in the Orange Vomit's efforts to pressure Congress to not certify the election in the days leading up to the January 6th attack on this country, including meeting with this filthy pig, Rudy Giuliani, and speaking with Trump by phone on January 5th, and all this shit. I mean, the record is there. And you'll also know that Bannon was indicted by the Justice Department last month and charged with criminal contempt of Congress because he won't cooperate with the House Select Committee investigating 1-6. Of course he would. Why would he do that? What, he's going to go up there and tell the truth? This filthy Nazi scum bastard, Steve Bannon? No. Bannon insisted that all this effort to take over local state offices that govern or oversee elections was not, oh God, how could you think, an effort to ensure that Trump can flip the next election. Instead, Bannon says the often repeated bullshit line among the Christian fascists these days, he said, quote, "We just want to ensure that every legal vote is counted in 2022 and 2024. Yeah, that's all we're interested in. Just make sure the legal votes are counted." What's a legal vote, dumpster dweller? Well, it's a vote for Trump or any of the people that Trump designates. What's an illegal vote, you stinky dumpster dweller? Well, it's any other vote. So, with Trump on the ballot again in 2024, and with his filthy allies at all levels of state government, from state officials who administer these elections to election judges who handle disputes that might come up within the precincts, all the way up to state legislatures who will intervene to pick the presidential electors no matter who wins. All of these rotten Nazi fucks could aid the Orange Vama in undermining an election result that went against him, in completely flipping it. That's what the plan is. And what's being done to thwart that plan? We have a media in this country that is still hung up on this, well, on the other hand, bullshit. Those days are gone, media. May I suggest to you, I know you don't listen to me, but may I suggest it to print and electronic media? Those days of equal time. Look, I was in radio when the equal time section of the FEC, or the FCC was eliminated. There used to be a time back when I started in radio, yeah, which was in the 80s, you had to give equal time to whatever idea, political idea that you were putting out there. And the first thing that the neo-fascists, the Christian fascists, did during the Reagan years was to get rid of that so they could take over the broadcast band with right-wing or Christian fascist lies and distortions and not have to allow anyone with an opposing point of view come on their air. I was around when that happened. I couldn't fucking believe it. I couldn't believe it. What? The Federal Communications Commission has now said that only one point of view need be presented on crucial, critical issues of governance? Yes, that's what happened. The scum-sucking Christian Nazi who is running for Secretary of State of Michigan has been endorsed by the Orange Vomit. He is one who spread bullshit claims about what happened on January 6th. He's one of these filthy pigs who want people to believe that, oh, those were lefties. Those were Antifa. What the fuck is Antifa? No, you know, you ask the average knuckle-dragging halfwit, what's Antifa? They can't tell you that it's just a made-up word. Anti-fascism. That's all it is. Anti-fascism. Is that wrong in America in 2021 to be anti-fascist? To these son of a bitches, to the Trump scum? Yes. Antifa. Anti-fascist. Next time you see one of these red hat wearing assholes, just ask them, say, hey, what is Antifa? They're really bad people, aren't they? What does that mean, Antifa? See what you come up with. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.